let's just get to the dance at 7, and then we got a lot to talk about. So let's get started. Here we go. Ooh, yeah. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Here we go. Whew. What up, what up? Oh, SLX and Reaper, hello. I'll stretch you out. Hello, hello, my friend. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate you. Okay, here's a warning. I'm gonna be moving the camera. So if it makes you sick, you don't like that, close your eyes, look away. I'll tell you when we're good. Camera's about to move. Here's your warning. It's happening. It's happening. Here it goes. It's moving. Here we go. Oh yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. We're here. It's Movie Review Monday. Hello, guys. Hello, hello. What's up? What's up? I'm gonna quickly grab my water. Cause yeah, I just danced, so I'm tired. Fluid is important. Don't you forget it. Oh yeah. But wait a minute. Where are we at? There's 2 days left of the 10-minute Hootie McRappy Rap Challenge. So, you know, if you want me to do that, you should give to that challenge, I guess. Booty bucks. But yeah, thanks for watching. I need some water. Here we go. All right. Flawless dancing, right? With the cans, I dropped one of the cans. I don't know. I was trying out something else, something a little different. Thought it was good. Anyway, yeah. All right. First movies first. I'm gonna talk about Mulan. Because that's the one. I think I already reviewed this, but I forgot about it. Stevie mentioned it, so we're gonna do it again, I guess. Here we go. Mulan. Yeah, I didn't watch this for this review. Like I said, I no longer have access to Disney Plus, so I'm going from memory for this one. I watched it like 6 months ago, or give or take. But Mulan is a fucking classic, and I refuse to watch the remake, the live action remake. I don't care about any of those. At least do something different with it. Don't make it less boring. I mean, I get taking out Mushu, the dragon character, because maybe it's not politically correct now, but you could have replaced it with something else and still had that comic relief role. I didn't even watch that movie, but I know there's no Mushu, or no even character like Mushu. So, what's the point? Anyway, I'm looking up Mulan 1998 on Wikipedia, because that's what it's known as now, or the animated one, or the original. But yeah, this is the good one, also known as the good one, I should hope. Although the remake has like 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is too much, in my opinion. But yeah. So yeah, it's a cartoon. If you haven't seen it, Disney movie. Basic plot. It's based off of history, I guess, to a certain extent. Obviously, some things are probably not true, like Eddie Murphy voicing a dragon. But it's the basic story is Mulan. She wants to fight in this war. The Huns are attacking China. And if I'm getting anything wrong, let me know, because again, I haven't watched this for a little bit. But yeah, she wants to fight in the war, so she dresses like a man to get into the army. And she meets some colorful friends. There's some good songs. Let's Take Care of Business is my personal favorite, but it's got some other bangers. It's maybe has the best songs, debatably, out of any Disney movie. That's a strong statement, but that's what I feel. Stevie, you're in movie chat. Oh, you want to talk about it? Okay, sorry, yeah. I didn't realize you were here yet, though. Yeah, well, you can do that. Let's go. But just to make sure I didn't miss anything to Stevie here yet. But yeah, they are now. Here we are, Tarzan all day. Tarzan for the music. That's a fair one. People like the Phil Collins soundtrack on that one. But yeah, I think I like the Mulan songs the best. But it's not my favorite Disney movie. I've said the Hunchback of Notre Dame is. I just gotta go to my thing here. To the Discord. I'll put the Discord again in here, just in case anyone else wants to join the party and talk about any of the movies we're talking about today. Join the Discord, even if not for that. Even if you just want to check out all the other things that the server has to offer. Anyway, sorry, yes, back to the movie talk. You're there. Stevie!
Alright, here we go.
Yeah, here you are. Welcome.
Sound off. Alright, we're gonna talk about Mulan, yeah?
Yes.
Alright, so you gave the basic premise and the story and everything, and it's important to note that she volunteers because, the man of the house of every house has to go fight in the war.
Right.
It's the draft. And he's already a veteran, and his health isn't great. He's got injuries, old war wounds. So she's like, no, I'm not sending my dad off to die. I can do it myself.
Right. Yeah, and it makes sense. Right. Like I said, I haven't watched it for 6 months, but it's relatively fresh. The cricket, I remember really liking the cartoon cricket that's sort of like Mushu's sidekick.
Yeah,
I remember some
yeah.
funny bits coming out of that. And yeah, I like the character Mushu. What do you feel about it? I talked about how it's not really considered politically correct now. That's why they took it out of the newer film. But I think that
Oh,
the
they
care,
ruined the everything in the remake. Like
yeah,
that's way more offensive than the original. So I forgive Mushu now
no,
because
yeah,
Disney just bombed their own product.
no. There's a lot of problems with the new Mulan for sure. Not just the plot, but yeah, them with the sketchy working with the sketchy Chinese government and shit. Um, but
Also, they throw in witches. There is no Chinese cultural concept of a witch.
they throw it in the new Mulan. That's weird. Yeah, I refuse to watch it.
Oh, same. You can't get me to watch it because the first one is perfect.
I watched a review of it, and like yeah, like the characters in this movie, the cartoon one, the side characters, like the friends that Mulan meets, they're all really
I
like
love
good.
them.
They're characters. They're all like different. You remember them, and it looks like they're really boring in the new one. Like none of them have very specific characteristics. They're all just sort of bland. That you don't have like the fun fat guy. You don't have like the angry short guy like in the cartoon.
I love those guys.
Yeah, no, it's good. I don't have much bad to say about it. This is a classic. It is. It is a classic movie. Um,
And
but
you know who's singing the song at the end, right?
which song is at the very end?
You know, while the credits are rolling,
Oh, okay. No, who sings it?
Stevie Wonder.
Oh, of course.
So
Uh,
that's the cherry on top for me.
okay, yeah, no. This obviously is a movie that's dear to your heart, and I understand that. And I like it. It's probably not. It's like I said. It's not my favorite Disney movie, but it's up there for sure. It's very good.
I really loved the Matchmaker Massacre.
Oh right, the Matchmakers. There's a song for that too. Don't they do a song for the Matchmaker
But you
thing?
know, that is something that a lot of people who are like me strongly connected with. And be
Right,
proper. That's
right,
how you get a man. And
right.
Mulan's like, oh, hey, if I'm a soldier, I can escape this nonsense.
Yes, that's a part of it. True, the escaping. They want to go and do the adventure and like they don't want to be told what to do, and it's a good like woman empowerment story, I guess, to a certain extent. Cause like fuck off, let her fight. Anyone should be able to fight if they want to fight. In the war, and like you said, very good reason. Dad's sick, and like not what he maybe used to be as strong as he used to be. So it just makes sense. And oh, another
Oh,
thing,
need a man from each family. Okay, fine, I'm a man.
yeah, and no, well, another thing. Apparently the cutting the hair thing, because she cuts her hair to look more like a man, right? To cut it short,
Yeah,
but
no, they were all about the top knot.
yeah, but it
You look like you
yeah.
with your man
Yeah,
bun.
no, exactly. So it was they usually do have long hair, but apparently
It was dramatic.
they butcher it and they make it worse in the new one apparently.
Oh, God.
Of course.
It's unfortunate.
But yeah, no, we can just pretend that one doesn't exist. This is the only one to watch. Why remake a
I do
classic?
want to point out that, you know, it totally is relevant to the story that they would show her naked, right? And
Right.
the only time she's naked there is when she's trying to hide her body from the other men who are all like, yeah, let's skinny dip in the moonlight. It's party time.
That's true. They give you that one moment. She had to bathe at one point, I guess. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, the cricket. Let's talk about the cricket. There's like a scene with
He's
Moosh.
way less racist than Jiminy.
Definitely. But yeah, there's like comedy bits between Mushu and the cricket. I remember something like the cricket's like typing or something, and it's cute. Again, it's not super fresh in my head,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I don't
Yeah, it's
remember.
not fresh for me either,
Um,
but I recall this being like a cookie fortune that he typed out.
right. That. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No. This is a good movie. The villain is spookily drawn. I think.
Oh, he's terrifying.
Yeah. This is it.
Don't they give him like yellow eyes or something?
Yeah. He's
Yellow
drawn spooky.
eyeballs?
Is he Attila the Hun, or am I just generalizing? Is what? Do you even know what his character? I guess I've
Wasn't he
Wikipedia.
Genghis Khan?
Oh, maybe. Let's look at the Wikipedia voice cast. It'll tell me. Um,
Yeah.
Let me see here. I don't know what the character's name is though, so that doesn't help. Not generally. That's on the China side, I think. Um,
Is that the young guy?
Generally, I don't.
Yeah, who's the guy that Ping has to impress? The leader of
Oh,
his
is
troop?
that him? I don't remember.
Maybe.
Yeah, I wish they had the pictures of the characters on Wikipedia, but that is asking too much of Wikipedia.
Right.
um, List of Disney's Mulan characters. Oh well, whatever. The point is that the villain is cool
There's
looking.
bad guys.
Yeah, right, and it's drawn well, like most Disney shit. But yeah, I don't have, like I said.
And they don't queer code him for once, which is interesting.
What do you mean? Sorry.
Like the villains in the Disney movies are always some kind of flaming gay, right? Like
Oh.
Pocahontas or The Lion King or even
Oh.
Hercules.
I didn't really think about that, but you're not wrong at all. You're right. But
It's an established thing.
not in this one, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so I
Right.
was impressed with that, is what I'm saying.
Okay, that's a good point. Something I didn't
It's a
catch.
positive.
It's what?
It's a positive for
Right.
me.
Absolutely. Okay. So I don't have much to say other than it's pretty good. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
I really like how Ing, the name that Mulan took to be a male,
Right.
uh, was always being challenged by the troop leader. And he thought that, he could pressure this soldier into perform as performing, but Mulan was always finding loopholes, right? Very
Mhm.
sneaky.
Yeah.
And I like how that kind of drives home the idea that having someone from outside of the pool that you really wanted can be very valuable.
Mhm. I agree with all of that. And Mulan, yeah, this is another reason this is so good. I feel like there's, especially in the '90s, there wasn't that many films super empowering for women. I mean, I'm sure there's some, but I feel like
It
that's
was Tank Girl.
yeah, fair enough. There was Tank Girl was before this. This is true. And yeah, like I said, there are some, but I feel like there's still special for that aspect of it. But yeah, if you can just keep talking until you run out of stuff, I guess, because I'm out of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so obviously you know that I'm coming from a not cis female perspective, but, Mulan gets to live as a female person at the end. That's her choice.
Right.
And I really like that that is an option, that she isn't, pigeonholed into the military and expected to present masculine.
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen either. And oh yeah, that would be sort of weird for the movie, I think too. So yeah, I think the movie resolves well to my recollection.
It would be a different kind of positive for me. They could have made it work that way, but I
Yeah.
appreciate that at the end they're like, oh, wait, femininity is important.
Yeah, no, it's a good overline message, underline message, whatever I mean, but whichever word I mean. But yeah, no, overall, it's excellent. Real quick, it earned a Golden Globe and Academy Award nomination and won several Annie Awards, including Best Animated Feature. And then followed by Mulan
Love the
2.
visuals.
What's that?
I loved the visuals, and
Yeah, it looks
it's
great.
really great to have a movie to show to children where, a girl is better at being a man than all the other men.
That's a good point. Absolutely, and it's for children. That is a very good point. Mulan 2. Have you seen it?
Have not.
Me neither. It's one of the classic direct-to-video sequels. It's probably bad, like all of them. I tried watching the Kronk's. Well, we not try. I watched it. Kronk's New Groove, the sequel to Emperor's New Groove, and oh my god, it is so bad. It was one of the worst things I've seen. But anyway, you
Yeah,
get
that's just
keep
part of
going.
the merch tie-in is the sequels.
Right.
You can get your Mulan Junior action figure or whatever. And
No,
it has
exactly.
meaning because you watched this stupid sequel that holds nothing to the original.
No, they never do with Disney straight to video sequels. But yeah, again, you just if you got anything else, keep going. But I am done.
I'm done, and I'm gonna close the
All right.
chat until the
Okay.
end. I'm guessing you're doing my favorite at the end.
Which is your monkey bone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, I don't know when we're gonna do it, but we'll do maybe last. Yeah, or we could do it next, whichever works. Cause
Hey,
Garrison,
birds, get on chat.
Garrison can talk about every other movie except Mulan, so he's in it for for the rest of it. Um,
Okay,
but
well, I want to make dinner soon, so if we could do that
okay,
now,
well,
that would be my
well
preference.
then we could do it last if you want to make dinner now. If that or what do you think? Whatever
Oh,
works, whatever works for you.
hey, birds, you decide.
Okay, we'll do it last. I mean, that's what you said first. That makes sense.
All
Okay.
right, closing chat.
Okay. Bye bye, Stevie. Thank you
Let's
for
do
that.
Monkey Bone.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, smoke hoot. You're getting me getting me going. Oh, I love you guys. Okay, here we go. Okay, I didn't even rate Mulan yet, but so we gotta do that. I think I know what I want to give it though. I think this is what I gave it last time, and I think I did review this before. But here. It's good. It's a good movie. All right. That's Mulan. 70 Stevies out of 10 from Stevie. All right. What are we doing next? Ooh, let's do which it doesn't matter what we do next because you've seen them all. In the in the army now. Let's get this one over with. I don't think Soap Dirty's here yet. In fact, I'm gonna whisper Soap Dirty right now just in case they get it. I'm reviewing In the Army right now. I'm reviewing In the Army now. Now. If you're into it. Boo-da-boo. There you go. Soap Dirty, this is for you. You made me suffer through this. Here you go. But you watched this, right? G-Birds?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Suffer is a good word.
What's that?
Suffer is a good word.
What's a good word, sorry?
Suffer.
Suffer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, to
suffer
describe
too.
it. Yes, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it sucked. It sucks so hard. I hated it. And, if you like it, like Soap Dirty liked it, I guess that's allowed. But
I guess if you like Pauly Shore, you probably like this movie.
yeah, and like I don't hate him, I guess, but I've only seen like The House Party, that new one with him on Netflix, and 20 minutes of Encino Man. But this is the worst thing I've seen him do by far, and I see why people hate him so much. Because he is annoying from the beginning to the end. I laughed one time the whole movie, and it was like a ha! At like one of the noises he makes, because that's like a lot of the jokes are him going, oh fuck, it's brutal. And what else? Oh yeah, you could debate that I laughed 2 times, but it was like 1.5. One of the other laughs was like a breathe through the nose sort of exhale. Really, it's like, it counts as like a half a laugh or a quarter of a laugh in my opinion. But so like 1.5 laughs of the whole movie, not so good. But the part I did that for, he like said "ow" really loud and delayed, I think, and that almost got me. But
Yeah.
ooh, it was bad. Suffer is accurate. Let's talk about the basic plot, I guess. Pauly Shore and Andy Dick work at a electronics store, and then they get fired because they're awful, and they go to they want to start their own electronics store, so they join the army, because that makes sense. And
They joined Army Reserves.
the reserve specifically because they think they won't have to fight or whatever, and of course they do. And this is, I think, like a rip-off of Stripes. Am I right? Kind of, with Bill Murray. I'm pretty sure. And I thought this before I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes of this movie, and even Rotten Tomatoes was like, it borrows heavily from Stripes. And I was like, I knew it. I knew they just like, let's do Stripes again, but with Pauly Shore this time. And it's just bad. Okay,
Yeah.
I have more to say, but you want to add stuff, G Burks?
I could add that his obnoxiousness, it just gets to you from the beginning. So
I feel like I was in physical pain for a lot of this movie. And I found myself like going back a couple times just to be like, wait, is there something that I'm missing that's funnier there, or like, what did I miss? And it was never worth it to go back, ever.
But yeah, the only thing I went back for was when he said, it's just like that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I went back for that too. I was so confused, and I'm still so confused, because this is before that. This is before Pirates of the Caribbean. And I looked it up.
Apparently
it's an older
it's
film?
A ride.
It's a
ride.
Yeah, it was a ride first. Yeah, no, I knew that, but he said a scene from it. So I was...
But apparently, there would be people in the ride acting out scenes.
Oh,
apparently.
oh my goodness. Okay, so
It's
that
one of
was
those
confusing.
interactive rides.
Okay, yeah, no, I went back for that too, because I was like, what's up with that? I'm glad you brought that up, because I was also...
I had to look that up. I found that on someone answered that on like a Yahoo Answers or something.
Okay, I knew it was a ride, because that's what the movie is based on. But I didn't know that... Yeah, I didn't know all of the story, so that was cool.
Oh, and Stevie's saying it's a book, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's true too.
We are uneducated.
I
Thank
think.
you, Stevie.
No, I think I actually heard that too, but still, no scenes in the books. That's what I was looking at it very literally.
Yeah, because he said scene, which is weird.
Yeah, it was a book, but ride. The movie's based on the ride. Maybe the ride's based on the book. It's possible.
But it's really weird that he said scene. That's what's the weird thing.
Yeah, that was the thing. He said scene. That's why it was confusing us 90s boys. But anyway, yeah, I have the Wikipedia open. Let's look at the moneyest movie made. I don't think it made...
The money.
It's not showing me the budget, but the box office return is $28 million. So if they made it for less than that, maybe they were okay. But I don't think it was hugely successful. Some people seem to like this. The comments on because this is on YouTube, this movie. That's where we watched it, right? That's where you watched it.
Yeah.
The comments are
In
all like
240p.
people who like seek this movie out and have fond memories of it and are like, I like this movie. I don't care what people says it's shitty. And me, I disliked the video on YouTube. I did it. I never do that, but I had to sit through it, so I did it. But yeah, I didn't like it at all. The plot, they got to go to the army, and Lori Petty, Tank Girl's in it. I don't really have a problem with her as much as Pauly Shore is the main reason it's trash.
And the writing.
But that's the main thing. The writing just isn't that funny. Lori Petty's fine, but she's doing the best she can with the writing, I think.
Yeah.
Live theater was a thing before we had Plague. This is true. I remember I used to be in plays and shit back in the day. I like that shit. Same. You got anything to add that I'm not mentioning?
Not really. Like, this is just a clunky movie. It's edited poorly. There's lines are delivered poorly.
Some of the transitions, just to be specific about the editing, they were like abrupt, and you're like, hey, I don't know about that edit. So every once in a while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
it's probably Shore yelling and raising his voice in different ways.
That's the problem with it. Is that's what they were counting as the jokes. Is like Pauly Shore being weird and wacky, and him saying "we're crazy boys" so many times, and then it's not funny. I didn't laugh one time at that bit.
Me neither.
I didn't like it. Movie sucks. I'm gonna give this lower than 10 out of. I mean, lower than 10 out of 10. Lower than 5 out of 10.
For sure. Yeah.
Because
I think we could rate this. I don't know about you. I'm pretty much done talking. Did you get the money or not?
What? Get the money?
Did you get the money? The box office numbers.
Oh, sorry. I only got it only has the box office, which is they made 28 million, but we don't know the budget.
I bet you the budget was more than that. With all the explosions and shit that went on.
Yeah, and I guess that's what I've said all shit. I'm gonna tell you the very few things that I liked about the movie. I liked that it's all practical effects. I like the explosions. I like the scene with the snake. Just because it would have been CGI now. So just very little things I'm giving it credit for, but that's very little. But it was painful to watch. Honestly, that was not enough to save it. I stole one of my favorite jokes from In the Army Now. The morphine, the better. Okay, I remember that. Like, you get these jokes, but I never laughed aloud. Like, I got that, but I was like, this wasn't worth a laugh. It wasn't funny enough.
Yeah, I had more fun watching Frankenstein Island.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna get to Frankenstein Island, which is fucking insane. I liked the Link cameo. Fuck, what? I don't know what that means. Like from Zelda? Was he in it? But yeah, I think we're done, right? To correct me if I'm wrong, I don't have anything else to say about this shit ass movie. And I'm sorry when Soap Dirty sees this, but you asked me to review it, so I'm allowed to shit on it. I had to watch it. You're allowed to like it, I'm allowed to hate it. Encino Man, Brendan Fraser in character. One day, Encino Man, I'll watch more than the first 20 minutes after falling asleep. One day, I swear. But until then, let's rate this movie. 2 out of 10 Bergs. That is honestly exactly what I was gonna give it. So I'm not even. That's what I'm giving it. For Lori, fair. 3 for Stevie.
That's why I didn't give it a 1.
Yeah, I don't think it deserved a 1 or a 0. I thought 2, because of the small things that I liked about it. And they made a movie, but like it's really bad, and they just basically ripped off Stripes. Anyways. Next fucking movie, we're just going through them, aren't we?
Because we're crazy boys.
Oh, I just realized. Wrong picture for who's talking.
We're crazy boys.
There's the correct picture for now. There we go. Yeah, I just realized that. Okay. But yeah, 2 out of 10. Next movie. I didn't put a movie on my chest. Oh yeah, Girl Next Door. So you watched this too? Or it's fresh enough for you that you know enough about this one?
I've seen it a few times, and I did throw it on before the review started. I didn't get to finish it, but I saw all my favorite parts.
Okay, well you had seen it before, so that's good enough. I had never seen it before. This is one of those movies that I remember seeing in the video store back in the video store days. And,
oh yeah.
And you'd like, I'd always like the cover for whatever reason, because there's a hot woman on the cover, stuck out to me. Yeah. But we never got it. We never rented it, and it's on YouTube for free, and I think it's illegally on YouTube for free, but no one's taking it down. And one of the top comments is like, been on here for 5 years and no one's taken it off. Nice. or something like that. And you can. It's funny because you can also buy or rent it on YouTube, but then it's just for free on YouTube. So why would you fucking buy or rent it? We're crazy boys. We're in the garage. Come buy our pillows. Not hot girl for baby dog. I wasn't necessarily a baby. You know, I was like 12 or whatever.
It came out when we were 10, 2004.
Yeah, that seems legit. We're allowed to have sexual feelings at that age, I think.
Oh, of course.
Oh, sorry. I meant no hot girl.
Talk about the plot.
Sorry, yes, the plot. So, Emil Hirsch is the main guy in this, and I didn't know who he was until like a year ago, but he's now in everything. And he looks, maybe not so much in this, but nowadays, he looks kind of like a skinny Jack Black to me. And even his voice is similar now, but you know, this is younger, so he doesn't quite look like that. But you can see how he could grow into Jack Black. Anyway, we're not. He could have played young Jack Black in a movie with Jack Black. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, enough of that. The basic plot: Emil Hirsch is real good at school and stuff, and they're about to graduate, but there's a girl next door, and she's hot, and he hasn't had sex yet. And lots of shit happens in this movie. It's actually hard to explain. But it's basically like a romantic comedy, but it's a titty comedy because there's titties. It's like a raunchy comedy, but also it's debatably still a romantic comedy because it's like it follows that sort of basic formula, the guy and the girl. Spoiler alert, he gets together with the girl next door. Anyone under 25 is baby me to me. Fair enough. But am I missing anything plot-wise? G-Birds?
This guy who the girl moves next door to is
oh yeah,
he's a stand-up guy. He's the student body president. Yeah. He's gonna be the valedictorian kind of thing.
And she's a porn star. That's an important
she's a
part.
Porn star.
That's an important thing.
Because his one buddy is like addicted to porn. So he finds out she's a porn star right away.
He's always...
And then shows him.
Yeah, whenever they're on the phone. And there's actually... Like, I laugh a lot throughout this movie. This movie is actually funny, I think. Which is... You can't say that for every titty comedy. And this is actually funny. The guys... Whenever Emil Hirsch tells his friend, he's always watching porn, pretty much. So that's funny. One of the biggest laughs for me... And because it just caught me so off guard. One of the plot points is that Emil Hirsch is trying to get this exchange student to their school, And he raised a bunch of money to do it, and they're at a pep rally and they're announcing it, and then you can hear like there's people aren't that excited about it, but one guy in the back is like, I want to bang that kid or something like that, and it just caught me completely off guard, or bang that dude or whatever he said. And it was really, I laughed maybe the hardest at that bit. It was so funny.
It's when he's walking through the party and a guy puts his arm around him and he starts talking.
Well, no, there's like, that, yeah. But there was before that at the pep rally, and then that connects it later and makes it even better. But
someone said at the pep rally too. I didn't.
Yeah, at the pep rally, and I think it's the same guy. And that's the point, that guy's like, I want to bang that guy, and that's like it was sort of a reoccurring joke because it reoccurs once. At least that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's a pretty raunchy movie for sure.
No, there's a lot of movies called this, by the way. The Girl Next Door, 1953. Girl Next Door, 1998. Girl Next Door, 1999. Documentary featuring porn star Stacey Valentine. The Girl Next Door, 1999 TV movie. A drama starring Polly Shannon, and then the one we were talking about, and there's also one from 2007 that's a horror movie, not a horror movie, horror movie, but this is the one we're talking about, the titty comedy. There's titties in this, there's comedy in this. I don't know, it's a pretty funny movie, and I went in with medium expectations, and it exceeded them slightly. So yeah, I enjoyed it generally. What was it like watching it again? You grew up with this movie, sort
of? Yeah, it's one my oldest brother had bought, and then I would like sneak it sometimes and watch it when nobody was home, type thing.
Oh shit! Because there's titties in it.
There's some titties in it, but I also love the plot, and I love when Timothy's performance gets me. Like, he's so good in this. When he fucks with Jay, like, because he likes him at the start, and Timothy Olyphant is playing this sleazy producer who is kind of in control of the girl next door. He kind of owns the rights to
her porn or whatever.
Her porn, I guess.
The videos.
He's basically they're basically making him out to be a pimp type thing, a porn pimp. Basically.
Yeah, basically, he's the sleazy porn producer. Yes.
Yeah, and so he when Jay walks in, he's like, "Oh yeah, we're kind of dating." Then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck with this guy." Jay is this innocent kid who's been hanging out with the girl.
Yeah.
And then later on, Jay interrupts them at a porn convention, and he's like, "Okay, it's not fucking funny anymore." And then he takes him out into the middle of nowhere and is having a conversation with him. All that stuff for me, it's so creepy. And Jay, I just bring this up because one of my favorite lines happens when they first hit the freeway. Jay looks at him. I keep saying Jay. I don't know why. His name's Matt.
Yeah, I wasn't
sure. The character's name is Matt.
Okay.
I'm really baked right now. So
that's
Matt,
allowed.
The main character Matt, he looks at Kelly, is Timothy Olyphant's character, and he says, "Where are we going?" And Timothy Olyphant doesn't answer him. He's like, "I thought you were cool, man." And it's just like, it gets me going every time, because if somebody answered that with me, I would I'd get pretty fucking worried. "Hey, where are we going?" "I thought you were cool, man. I thought we were friends, man."
Yeah, that's a classic sort of line. I thought you were cool, man.
His hair's crazy. He just nails it.
No, he's a good actor, and yeah, he's good in this. And something I wanted to say is that this movie is from 2004. So any movie that's from a few years ago is gonna have shit like this, especially titty comedies. There's some unsavory usage of the word fag and stuff like that, which, there's never really usually a savory use of that word, but you know what I mean.
They're guys.
But
guys do that when nobody's around.
And especially in 2004.
Yeah.
So like that was just something I wanted to mention. Not a huge deal, but times they are changing. But what was I gonna say again? Oh yeah, and Timothy Olyphant's character just says some racist stuff, but he's sort of like he is a dick, so I think that sort of justifies it being in the script.
He's the villain of the movie.
Yeah, you're not supposed to like this guy. He's an asshole, sleazy porn producer. He's hitting on the lady at the bank or whatever. It's kind of funny. He's just always hitting on people is another funny aspect of his character. He's always on, always being that guy.
Yeah, Olivia Wilde is in the movie too. She plays a high school student, and he's trying to get a few high school students in line to start shooting some movies. They're sweet talking them, and then he shows them some weed, and they want some, and then he's like, "Okay, we gotta go," and then they're all after him. It's fucking hilarious. There's a lot of good scenes.
He pulls weed out of the one nerdy kid. Oh shit! Someone's following me. Ethan Nobles, thank you, my friend. Hello, Ethan. I'm gonna shout you out. I hope you stream. If you're offended by this, I apologize. Oh, you're messaging me. Hi, bro. I'm gonna get you on 270 followers right now. After that, can you donate to my channel? I am poor, so I can't donate any money. I appreciate any help, but I can watch your streams if you're a streamer and shit. But no, I can't just give you money. I'm sorry. I hope you're watching this now, but I did check your whisper message. But I appreciate the follow though, very much. Thank you. I'll shut you out right now, for sure. Because I appreciate it all. Here we go. But yeah, Stevie said some stuff that we have to address. I came in when you were discussing language, right? Hold that thought, BRB. I want answers when I'm back. Dinner is started, and I rolled one for dessert. What did I miss? Weed for dessert, nice. But you didn't miss much, just the basic plot. I think the year is 2004, we've been saying. Or 2005, it says on YouTube. But they often do that, where they make the movie one year and then release it the other year, so that's not uncommon. You okay, G-Bergs?
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
It's okay. 2005 or 2004. I think it's 2004 is the year I've seen more. Wikipedia says 2004, so I trust it. But 2005 is what YouTube says, so who knows? Anyway, yes, I appreciate it.
I was gonna say there's a great scene after the Timothy Olyphant scenes because he douses our main character with some ecstasy, and he's got to go deliver a speech at this fancy get together of some kind.
That's a scholarship dinner. So this dinner, this is sort of a big plot point too, because Emil Hirsch, they want scholarship. He's got accepted into Georgetown, which is a big deal, but he can't go unless he gets a scholarship. And there's like 6 other kids or whatever that are up for it. And yeah, and this is a build up. This is towards the end of the film. They're at this big fancy sponsorship dinner, and Emil Hirsch is on ecstasy, right? That's the drug?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Timothy Olyphant gave it to him because he thought it was Tylenol or whatever. I kind of felt something like that coming, but I wasn't exactly sure like what drug it was going to be. But I was like, I feel like he's giving him drugs that aren't what he thinks they are. But it was, that scene was funny because he was practicing like the whole time with these cards, and he has that classic John F. Kennedy quote, "It's not what you can do, ask not what you can do for your country." Oh, well, you know what I'm talking about. That fucking quote.
Yeah.
I fucked it up, but he had it on the cards, and then one of the other kids that's up for the scholarship, he says that quote, so he couldn't say it, and then he's like, well, fuck all these cards, and throws them in the air. It was funny. Yeah, there was a teensy grace period in the early 2000s. Use of those slurs isn't edgy at the time, it's douchey. Absolutely. I would agree with that 100%. But yeah, I don't have much else to say other than I guess this movie wasn't predictable, super predictable. Some of it was, but it had enough twists and turns that I didn't really expect it. So I respect that for being more than just the average titty romantic comedy or whatever. A little bit above anyway. This
There's
is
two.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's two moments where I laugh out loud every time.
Yeah.
It's right after they find out she's a porn star, and his buddy who's addicted to porn says, "Dude, you have to fuck her. You have to, dude." And then he's chasing him through the hallway, and then as he's leaving, there's a whole bunch of people in the entryway of the school, and he just goes, "If you don't fuck her, I will kill myself. You have to fuck her."
Yeah, honestly, that made me laugh too. It's because it's so silly, and there's all those people around, and you're like, who? Like, is there teachers around? Just like, but no, it's funny.
And then when Emil Hirsch is tripping balls and he's dancing and shit at the at the scholarship dinner, and when he kissed the other candidate on the mouth and stuff, oh, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he was living. He's living on it. Living on
life.
Yeah. It was a fun movie. I enjoyed this 100 times more than in the army now. But it was good. Like, at least good, you know, maybe even okay, but I'd say a little better than okay personally, because I was laughing throughout, and there's a lot of comedies where that doesn't happen. So I appreciated that, and yeah, titty comedy. That's what makes it a titty comedy. Anyway, you got anything else to add? I'm running out of shit. I think we might be done on this one, unless you got more.
Well, there is a subplot where the porn star girl next door, who I can't remember the actress's name right now, but she's great in this movie too.
Right.
She gets some of her porn star friends to make a realistic sex education video.
Yeah, this was important because they make you think that they're making a porno at prom, and because the Timothy Oliphant was like at the near the middle of the movie or whatever, to Emil Hirsch's character, he's like, I got this idea. You take these studs from your school, you take these women from your school, and just have them plow each other or whatever. Like, it's brilliant. Where do I get these ideas? And then you think that that's what they're doing to make money with the other, like the fancier porno producer, Hugo. But it turns out it's actually sex education. Big twist. Spoiler alert after I said the spoiler. But, yeah, it was funny, and that was a good point. And the guy, the nerdy kid, in their friend group, I forget his name.
Paul Dano. He was good because they're all like, "Who's gonna do it?" And we think it's the guy who's gonna like act in this porno film, who's gonna have sex with this woman or whatever. But what really funny comes out of that is because apparently this guy is just packing. He's got a huge dick, and that's funny to me because you don't expect it. It's not super high humor or brilliant humor, but it's funny. Anyway, you said the actor's name who played the woman, Alicia Cuthbert, or Cuthbert. That's right.
She was good. Oh, and this movie is Canadian, which is a pretty good thing to say. I think is something to add.
Yeah.
Canadian.
If I'm not mistaken, she married a hockey player.
That makes sense. Cause she's Canadian. But no, the whole production's Canadian, even though it takes place in America. But that happens a lot. And yeah, I like this movie. Alicia Cuthbert. Should we click on her name? What else is she in? Canadian actress and model. She made her first televised appearance as an extra. She was an extra in Are You Afraid of the Dark? That was her first thing. I love that show.
Nice.
You ever watch that show? I like that one. It's like sort of like Goosebumps, but the Canadian Goosebumps. Popular Mechanics for Kids. Yeah, she was on some shit.
Sorry, she's from Calgary. She's Canadian, and she's married to Dion Phaneuf.
Who's that?
He's a NHL player, ex-NHL player.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. He's a pylon in my opinion, but
Oh yeah, and she's in Old School, so she started doing like titty comedies, and she's in Love Actually, a regular rom com. So she's in shit. Oh, and she's in the shitty House of Wax, like the one with Paris Hilton. Obviously, she's
Yeah.
in the old one because she would be way too young. But yeah, she's in some shit.
That's a pretty bad movie. It's got a special place in my heart, though.
I've never like the not new now, but the remake, I should say, of House of Wax. You're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never
The Paris
watched
Hilton
it.
death scene is so good.
But I know that scene exists.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, race,
You should
baby.
review it.
I don't wanna.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just know I'll hate it. Cause I like the original so much. But yes. Oh hey. Shout out Rice Baby, thank you Stevie. And yeah, we're doing the movie. You suggested this film, and if you might want to go back because we're almost done. But I hope you caught some of our talk about it. She's from the same child program that Jay Baruchel. Oh, I love Jay Baruchel. Oh yeah, he's obviously Canadian too. PMK, I watch that every day. It's okay. Hey, that all rhymed. Did you notice that? that was cool. But yeah, she's obviously had a career. This movie was good, man. Like decently good. Anyway, like I enjoyed it. You have anything more to add? I think I'm done, Mr. G. Burks.
I'm done on this one too. Yeah, we can rate this one for sure.
Let's rate this shit. Yeah, when they were both starting to be in movies, it was a huge deal for me and my friends. Yeah, baby. Bring that back on Wacky Wednesday. Bring what back? Boop, boop, boop. But anyway, let's rate this. Yeah, I like this. You know, it's not perfect, but I generally enjoyed it. 7 out of 10, I think, is fair. I think it's fair. I enjoyed it. Bring the rhyming. Comments back on Wednesday. Oh, well, we always do, don't we? That's what it's all about. But yeah, thanks. I should make sure that I'm not missing anything, because someone followed me earlier, and I appreciate that. Ethan Nobles. But yeah. What else we got going on? I don't know, I just can't put into words how important PMK was to me growing up. But fair enough. I get you. We all had that shit, right? Not necessarily PMK, but things that are dear to us from growing up in childhood. Or teenage hood, or whatever, hood. Jay wasn't even the cool guy either, so when he got famous, that made it all the more cool to see. That's a cool point. He's cool. But no, I watched that She's Out of the League with him not that long ago. It's okay, too. I like the Hall & Oates references in that movie. But anyway... Well, I think we're gonna move on because I rated it.
I'll be right back, Doug.
Okay, cool. 7.5 out of 10 Bergs from G. Bergs. Jane Elizabeth Kirthbury. Boo-da-boo-boo-boo-ba-do-bo. That is so wholesome, Constance. Boo-da-boo-boo-boo-ba-do-boo. There was a cooler guy who wore a backwards hat and got to do all the cool stuff on PMK. When I was watching season of RuPaul's Drag Race and I saw Sutan from America's Next Top Model, I was competing, sorry. Maybe that was a similar feel. Also BRB. Dance break. I'm not dancing, you can dance. I'll dance if you redeem the dance, doctor. That's how, you know how this works. Yeah! Good things come to those who wait. Yes. Okay, let's do this one next. Let's do Frankenstein Island. And G-Bergs will be right back, but I can start talking about this one anyway. My dad wanted me to watch this movie. This is like I think the 70s. I'll look up more specifically. But yeah, this was from the 70s. This movie's really crazy, but it was kind of fun. and it's not good technically, but it's if you like bad movies, you might enjoy it. Obviously, when a movie's bad, it has to be so bad it's good. This is debatably on that level, but it's not as good as some really bad films that are good, if you know what I mean. But I still had fun with it. Frankenstein Island is a 1981 science fiction horror film produced, written, composed, edited, and directed by Jerry Warren. Holy shit, he did a lot on this. And starring John Carradine and Cameron Mitchell. The plot concerns a group of balloonists strand on an island where they are captured by Dr. Frankenstein's female descendant, Sheila Frankenstein, who has been kidnapping shipwrecked sailors for years and turning them into zombies. Okay, this plot that Wikipedia gives it seems weird because it says turning them into zombies, and it feels like they're turning them into vampires. There's so much weird shit to talk about with this movie. So, let's start at the beginning. Like the Wikipedia says, it says balloonists get trapped on an island, and that part makes enough sense, I guess. They crash, land on this mysterious island, but Sheila Frankenstein is on this island, and apparently we find out later that Sheila Frankenstein has been controlling these ships and balloons and making them come into the island so they can, like, fuck with them with science, I guess. And they, like, they have people that they turn into vampire. They say zombies in the Wikipedia page, but it looked like vampires because they have vampire teeth. She's a siren.
This makes no sense.
No, yeah, she's a siren. That makes enough sense because bringing in the people. But no, yeah, this movie makes no sense. But I don't know, very tiny amount of sense.
Like, why are those girls there in bikinis, and why did they want them to have sex with them?
I can explain that sort of. They're aliens, and they're
descendants of aliens and humans.
They're descendants of aliens and humans, and they're there. They
That's
sort
what I
of
mean, but why?
have
But then they're like good. They're with the guys, but
Yeah.
then earlier, like Sheila Frankenstein was like, "Yeah, you need to go bang them, and you guys should all get together." It's like, well,
yeah,
okay. And then they're trying to overthrow.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of
It's
weird
just-
shit. It's a mess.
Yeah,
They
all
want
the fight scenes had me laughing though.
Yeah, it's the cheesiest fighting you could have possibly imagined. OMG, Frankenstein Island is so terrible yet hilarious. Yeah, here you go, Dad. This is your fucking. You made me sit through this, NG Bergs. But yeah, we watched it. It
is so terrible.
And I
The
didn't hate
score
it.
though is actually really good. Like the music is really good.
Yeah. Then I have no problem with the score. That's one of the few things that were fine. And like I don't have a huge problem with this movie at all. Really, it's like I said, it's fun, but it's definitely got a lot of problems.
It's pretty bad. Yeah.
And I can see why you wouldn't like this movie, but I kinda liked it. Kinda, keyword. I didn't get to watching this one. Had a date this weekend. Well, that's obviously more important. Ended up watching Legally Blonde. Well, that sounds much more fun, honestly. I love that movie.
It's a good time.
I love Legally Blonde. But John Carradine's... I actually watched it not too long ago. John Carradine's head floating around is a nice touch. I think Cameron Mitchell is drunk throughout. I wouldn't be surprised. You know Cameron Mitchell is related to the Mitchells that have Mitchell Meats here, right? I did not know that. So that's a good fact. Thank you, Dad. Yeah! Mitchell Meats, they're related to Cameron Mitchell. Did you know that, G-Bergs? Did you?
I did not know that.
Hugh coming at you with the facts.
Big fact.
All right.
Big Daddy facts.
Yeah, the Big Daddy facts. I like that. I like are those Larry David heads? That's cool. So good. Thank you, Daddy. Dave Geary knows his son. I'd have to ask him about his dad's career. Wow, that was a big fact, right? He was just dropping the knowledge on us right now. But yeah, what else to talk about with this? Yeah, like you said, John Carradine, who I don't know that well, but I guess he was a big deal long ago. Like he was in big films in the 50s and shit, I think. Hugh, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, he's in this, and he's Dr. Frankenstein, but he's dead, but his head floats around every once in a while, and he says shit like, the power, and it's fucking funny. I laughed at those parts, because it's like, what? Like, they just gave him a script that they thought was, like, cool. What this reminded me of is when Ed Wood would take Bela Lugosi, and in Glenn and Glenda, for instance, he'd just be like, okay, we'll sit you here, read this monologue, and we'll put some Buffalo playing behind you. That's the same energy as this, just sort of like, fucking throw your head in there and just say this absolute jargon. But it was funny. That's the name for Hugh's meme page, Big Daddy Facts. John Carradine was probably in over 300 movies. I believe it, and that's a lot of movies. Much better than his previous meme page, Big Daddy Cracks. I'd love to hear your review of Slapshot when that's coming probably next. But you gotta go serenade your mom. I know she hates when you play guitar, but have fun, Dad. Wrestle that rubber octopus, Bella. Brenda. Okay, but yeah, this there's more to talk about with how weird it is, but yeah, so there's these cave women on the island that we talked about a little bit, but yeah, they're supposed to be descendants of aliens, and at one point, like you said, Sheila Frankenstein is like, you gotta have to the ballooners that are stranded, like, you gotta have sex with these women, and we gotta get more people on the island. I guess the reason for that is because she wants them to make more babies and more experiments. It's a never-ending cycle of Sheila Frankenstein experimenting on these cave women and turning them into vampires sometimes. Okay, let's talk about the climax already, because the climax, skipping ahead, but who cares? With this movie, it's all a big jumbled mess. But at the end, they're fighting or whatever, and they have these guys that I think are supposed to be robots. They're the guys that are wearing all black, and some of them are wearing hats, and some of them aren't, and some of them are wearing glasses, and some of them aren't. It's just...
Those are the zombies, bro.
Are those the zombies? Because I thought they were supposed to be robots. I was so confused. But there's a point when they're like... they're shooting this weird like beam of energy at one of the cave women, and she turns into a vampire or zombie or whatever.
Yeah.
But then immediately after that, they zap her with another thing, and she just disappears. It's like, why did you turn her into a vampire if you were just gonna make her disappear? It didn't make any sense. Voodoo zombies mayhap. Yeah, maybe. But they have vampire teeth. So that's the confusing part. It would have maybe been voodoo zombies, but yeah, I'm just going, Wikipedia said they're zombies. I would have said vampires. But yeah, it's weird. Let's lure men with snoo, experiment on them. That's the very basic plot of this. Sheila Frankenstein, let's talk about Frankenstein has these little electric boxes all over the island. And when you walk near them, they electrocute your arm. And I don't fucking get it fully. But that's a plot point. And Dr. Frankenstein is controlling this somehow. And it's so silly. Because, like, they'll be talking, and they'll be, like, the guys will be walking through the forest. And then all of a sudden, he'll be like, and it's like, oh my goodness, what is going on? But it's so funny. You got anything to add about... I'm running out of shit. What do you got?
Yeah, all that stuff is funny. It's just bad.
Exactly. I would only recommend this to people who have a respect for the bad movies. But sounds like it was written by someone who only worked on video games. Well, this was in the 70s. So I think... Anyway... No, 1981. Sorry, 1981. So there would be some video games would exist, right? When did Atari come out? But are you familiar with shock collars for dogs? This I am. Yeah, I guess too soon for that. Well, for the games you're thinking with the plot, because before, like for a while, games didn't have much of a plot. It was just like, you are a ship, shoot the rock, or whatever. But yeah, now games have plots and stuff. Yeah, I guess too soon for that. And implant a zapper in an arm, electronic post. Zap! Zap, zap, zap. Plot twist, video games were inspired by this flick. That would be a twist. That's for sure. Well, it should be a video game. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's possible someone made it into one. Who knows? And there could be one unrelated. Why not Google it right now? Fuck. Why not? Frankenstein Island video game. It's possible it exists. There's probably a bunch of Frankenstein video games.
It's a good one when you're drunk with your friends. Throw it on.
Yeah, that's a good point. You could probably make some sort of a drinking game out of it too. Every time one of the cave women comes on screen or something. But yeah, looks like there is a Wii game called The Island of Dr. Frankenstein, so it's a little different. But that's the closest thing I found. That's pretty close. So there's a Wii game called The Island of Dr. Frankenstein. Probably not related. Almost certainly not related. Yes. But anyway, this movie sucks, but it's kind of fun. Anything else to add?
No, I'm ready to rate it.
Yeah, I think so. Me too. Let's go. I kind of enjoyed it, but parts of it were like, what? What? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of it was what?
Yeah. Okay, I'm feeling like, yeah, that's about right. For me, anyway, personally. That's fair, G-Birds. I'll go a little higher. Yeah, 5.5 out of 10 for me. It looks like you gave it 3. Yeah, 3 out of 10. But play it and review it. I don't have a Wii anymore, so that would be pretty tricky. Reviewing games, though, that's a whole different ballgame, ain't it?
We didn't even talk about when Frankenstein showed up.
Oh, shit, like yeah, that was in my head and we didn't talk about it. So yeah, there is a Frankenstein monster. Not just Dr. Frankenstein. But it takes a while for those
elements. The worst Frankenstein you've ever seen.
It looks really shitty, I agree. That's all there really is to say about it.
I love to see the fight scene where the old man with the beard just walks straight up to Frankenstein and doesn't do anything, and then Frankenstein looks at him for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then strangles him. It's like, oh my god, this is so bad.
Yeah, I remember that now, cause yeah, I remember thinking like, why aren't they doing anything? But yeah, no. This movie's pretty bad, but we already rated it. I gave it 5.5 out of 10 because I still enjoyed it to a certain extent. That's what I'm going off of. But it's bad, and don't watch it if you don't like this kind of movie, but watch it if any of what we said appeals to you. John Carradine's head floating around and cave women getting turned into vampires. It's a pretty crazy movie. It's not...
I just smoke a lot of weed to get through this one.
I wouldn't say it's boring, but it's bad and it's weird, but it's kind of fun. Okay, is that it? Are we done?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
5.5 out of 10. Out of Doug's for me, and G-Bergs give it 3, which is fair because it's pretty bad. Slap shot. We're saving Monkey Bone for last. Monkey Bone is the piece de resistance, if you will. Slap shot. We talking about this movie.
Here we go.
Yeah, and I thank you for lending me the DVD to watch it. It was kind of weird because it was new DVD, and I felt weird about opening it. I was like, oh, unscathed first touch of the slap shot, but it was also cool. So thank you for that. Movie is good overall, pretty good movie, but I said that I hadn't watched it for 10 years. I think I actually have watched it a little sooner than that. Uh, I thought about it a little longer. I think I watched it like 3 or 4 years ago, actually. Something like that, more accurately. But still, I needed to watch it again, I think, for the review. Because, yeah, I forgot a bit about it, but as the movie started going, the parts with, like, the Hanson brothers and shit, I was like, oh yeah, that like the part with the where Paul Newman walks by the hotel room and the Hanson brothers are just playing slot cars on the and they're so into it. Oh, that's just funny. They're probably my favorite part about the whole movie. But Paul Newman's a good leading guy. Let's talk about the basic plot. So it's a hockey film from the 70s, right? They're wearing 70s clothes, so I'm assuming it's the 70s. No one wears bell bottoms in any other era typically. So and there's some of
77, I believe.
some of that in this. That sounds legit. So Slapshot. I'm gonna Wikipedia it right now. It's just giving me like the definition of what it is. Like I know what it is. Slapshot movie. But yeah, so it centers on this hockey team in a town. It's a minor league hockey team similar to what we would have as the Blades, the Saskatoon Blades. It's sort of
not
quite.
So
okay.
If I could
No, it's okay.
step
Go ahead.
in here.
No.
The WHL team is a junior team, a major junior team.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, fair enough.
So everybody has to be between the ages of 15 and 19, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is a
because he's like 50 or whatever, Paul Newman in this or whatever.
Yeah,
he is.
this is technically a professional hockey league that they're playing in. It's a made up league. It's called the Federal League.
Okay.
The Federal Hockey League, I think is what it is.
Okay.
But it's very similar to the now disbanded AHL, the North American Hockey League, which was a thing back then.
Okay, yeah, I see. I didn't know any of this. I don't know much about sports, so that was good to tell me. But although I did film the Blades, that's about as much as my knowledge. I used to film the Blades. Cool. I used to film high school football. That's like my sports knowledge.
Nice.
And pretty much, I still didn't understand the rules. You just follow the players with the camera, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no. The basic plot of this movie, though, this hockey league, and this hockey team, what is it, Charleston Chiefs?
The Charlestown Chiefs.
Charlestown Chiefs. And they are not doing too great. They're not winning a lot of games. Paul Newman is the coach. He's been doing it for a while. They're not winning any games. They seem to be in a slump. We find out that they're gonna get the teams. They want to sell the team, but it's probably just gonna get shut down. We find out at the end of the seasons. What was I gonna say? So they get the Hanson brothers in, but that's not really what I was gonna say. But that's a good point still.
The team is about to be sold. Is basically the entire.
Yeah, they think it's gonna get sold, but everyone's like it's bullshit throughout. Because it seems like maybe too good to be true. Because a lot of them think it's just gonna get shut down.
Yeah.
But what they start doing, that's what I was gonna say. What they start doing to start winning the games is basically fighting more and turning it into more of a blood sport. And they end up winning still throughout, but just barely. My favorite win that they get, they give to them because they've been fighting for so long. It's just like fucking, just you win. There's no game. It's over.
And he punches the referee, the opposing team.
The guy from the other team. That's what I was trying to say. He's right.
Like, that's it. You lose.
Too many Chiefs, not enough minions. Very true. And yeah, it leads me to another point. This movie's from the 70s, so I'm gonna, I give it a little grace for things that are inappropriate. Would be inappropriate now, like the the scalping thing with at the end they have the one hockey player. There's some racial stuff. There's some they say fags and stuff, but it's all a product of the times. That's the important thing to realize. It shouldn't take away from the movie. You should still be able to enjoy it. I enjoyed it. It's funny throughout. Paul Newman's really good. He doesn't just make salad dressing. He's in movies. I'm running out of stuff. What do you got, G-Bergs?
It was written by a woman. Her name's Nancy Dowd.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yes.
And her brother Ned Dowd played for the Johnstown Jets, which is the team that the Chiefs are based on.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and he was pretty good. His name was Ned, and that's why Ned Braden is named Ned in the movie, and that's why he's like the leading scorer on the team and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Because like most of them seem to be pretty bad, but the one guy seems to get all the goals. And yeah, it is some
Paul
fun.
Newman does.
Sorry, go ahead.
Paul Newman does. Sorry, he does his own skating in this too, which is fun to watch.
Right. Yeah. No, that's important. And yeah, there's Canadian references that are like if you're Canadian like me, you'll watch it and be like, oh, they said Moose Jaw, or whatever. And because
one of the players is from Moose Jaw.
Yeah, and they say they have the song "Girl from Saskatoon" or whatever.
A little bit south of Saskatoon.
South of Saskatoon.
Times.
No, yeah, wrong song. There's another song called that I was thinking of, but yeah, no, you're right. But yeah, this movie's really good overall. Like, it's a classic. It's one of my dad's favorite movies. It's a sports movie, and I don't really like sports, but I like this movie. And I like The Sandlot. Those are probably my two favorite sports movies.
Hell yeah.
This is like I've seen it before. It's a classic. The Hanson Brothers stuff is really funny. They come. Oh yeah, and of course, they say.
And they did a lot of improvised stuff too, if I could add.
You absolutely can, and that makes sense, and that might be some of the funnier shit too. That's often like the best scenes in like Curb Your Enthusiasm when you're just letting the actors riff and stuff. And this is really funny, and they have the brotherly chemistry because they're brothers, right? I think they're actually brothers.
Yes, if I could I talk about the Hanson brothers?
They're in a band, right? They're a band, right? Is that true?
No, actually, they were real hockey players.
Oh, okay.
Professional.
Because there's
professional hockey players.
Okay, because there is a Hanson Brothers band too, so that's why I was confused.
You mean Hanson the band?
There's Hanson the band, and then there's because I had this is on another review. I thought that Hanson was Canadian, like the Hanson you're thinking of, Mbop, but they're not. But the other Hanson the Hanson brothers are Canadian, so there's that mix up. Hanson brothers.
Okay.
So yeah, it's different. They're different, but yeah, no, they're like a Vancouver like punk band, I think, and I don't know if they're the same guys. It may be unrelated, but still noteworthy, I think. Anywho. Slapshot. It's good. It's funny. It's funny throughout. There's titties in this movie, if that's a deciding factor for you. If you want to watch it. There's a good portion of boobies, I think. There's lots of fighting, obviously. That's like the main point of it. And it's like kind of gruesome at points with the blood, but it's it still keeps it light and funny, I think. There's lots of memorable moments like near the beginning of the movie when the team that the Chiefs are fighting, they have the one guy who says he's really drunk, and he says if he gets pushed up against the boards that he's gonna piss himself. So of course someone pushes him up against the boards and he pisses himself.
Ned Braden hammers him.
But it's fucking funny. Sorry, what'd you say?
I said Ned Braden just goes and hammers him.
Yes,
it says, "Get off the ice, Nicky. You're gonna kill somebody."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and and the movie as it progresses, the Chiefs. Do they get to the final? Like they get to the finals, right?
Oh yeah.
Right, and spoiler alert. So I would keep doing that after I say the fucking spoiler, but the spoiler alert, yeah, they win the fucking, they get to the end anyway, get to the final, and throughout they're sort of the narrative, if you will, of that you should maybe not be fighting because they turn into a blood sport. They're not, they should be playing just regular hockey. The one character, I forget his name, like the guy who scores the most goals, he's like, he refuses to fight, and at the end they're playing this opposing team, and the lineup for the opposing team is now every possible goon that they've ever had in hockey or in this league, or that like Oglethorpe. They've been building up to Oglethorpe because they talk about him in the beginning of the movie, and he doesn't show up because he was suspended or whatever, but he's in. They finally show him at the end, and yeah, he's a big brute, and there's all these other guys, and so now they're like getting afraid, and Paul Newman at this point is like, fuck, we should just play regular hockey, and of course they get their shit beat up, but then, and again, sort of spoilers because this is the end of the movie, but I think it's important to say still, they're fighting, and at the end, because they're finally like, hey, we're gonna stand up for ourselves, we're gonna fight back, but the one guy throughout this whole movie who's been for the playing regular hockey, not for fighting, he starts stripping, and it comes to a big point that everyone's like, oh, disgusting, because he's stripping, but no one says it's disgusting with all the blood and the violence. So that's an obvious narrative, sort of, that people are too desensitized to violence maybe, and get too worked up about sex, but that's at least that's sort of what I got from it. What do you think, G-Bergs?
Yeah, it's just this movie's just an iconic representation of the hockey world. I guess it's just an icon in the hockey world. It's on every team bus and team plane, and it's quoted every day in locker rooms and stuff like that. It really touched every corner of the hockey world for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, even if you don't like hockey, like I don't, you will probably still like this movie, because that's what makes a good sports movie. It's, to me, for someone who doesn't like sports, if someone who doesn't like sports like me can enjoy a sports movie, then it's great. And
the pacing is good, the cinematography is good, the script is good.
I would agree with all that. It just has to be funny, though, for me. So I like any serious sports movie, I'm probably gonna be like, fuck this. Like, Remember the Titans or whatever. People like that movie. I don't really like it because it's football and boring to me. But anyway, yeah, this movie is quoted a ton. Yeah, it's a classic. I think we're running out of shit to say, though. I don't have much more to add.
Sorry. I was going to say, NHL players to this day still call dishonest reporters Dickie Duns.
Oh, and that's from this movie?
That's from this movie, right. The reporter's Dickie Dunn.
That's his name.
And a couple facts about the Hansons. Two of them were brothers, and three of them were supposed to be in the movie. It was supposed to be Steve Carlson, Jeff Carlson, and Jack Carlson. But Jack Carlson got called up to the NHL before they started filming.
Oh, okay.
So they had... Yeah, so the guy that plays Jack is actually named Dave Hansen, and he was just a player on the Johnstown Jets who just got to be in the movie. It's like the luckiest thing. And then the other two guys were really good hockey players, and they went on to try to. They almost made it to the NHL basically, but before their first shift in the movie, they do the sign of the cross, and it's an improvised moment, and it's one that everybody loves to this day. Hilarious stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
And those slot cars you like so much apparently were they were those guys' toys. They fucking had toys with them.
That's funny. That's cool.
Yeah, man.
What was I gonna say? Okay, this movie was Goon was probably inspired by this movie. Have you seen Goon?
Oh, 100%.
And it's good 100%. Too. I like it as well. And that's another point about if it's funny and about sports, it's okay in my book. But if it's not, then I probably will be bored.
And the guy that plays the general manager of the Chiefs is in a bunch of Paul Newman movies as well. They have really good chemistry together.
I believe that. I've only seen like Cool Hand Luke and Cars. We've mentioned Paul Newman is in the movie Cars.
Yeah.
But probably not his proudest moment. But, you know, not his least proud probably either. Anyway, I think that's it. Unless you got anything else.
No, that's probably good, yeah. There's all kinds of antics in this movie. I think it could tickle all kinds of people's funny bone, different moments.
Yeah, I agree. I like it quite a lot. The only thing I have to say negative was, I already said it, that some of it aged not great, but like that's to be expected, and hardly a negative note at all, because, you know, it was a product of its time, and like it's very 70s, like the soundtrack and everything. But
Ned Braden is also one more
ahead.
subplot thing.
Go ahead.
Ned Braden's also having issues at home with his wife, and that's adds some tension to the movie as well. And then Paul Newman swoops in there, and she moves in with him, and it's weird, but there's great scenes between Ned and his wife because of that tension. And there's a great scene between Paul Newman and him where they're walking along, and he says, yeah, she underlined the sex scenes for me. And then Paul Newman's like, Jesus Christ, she underlined the fuck scenes for me? And then Ned goes, they teach you how to underline in college. And then Paul goes, yeah, but not the fuck scenes. Oh, yeah, it's good stuff.
One of the other parts that I like, and the guy in the movie that's from Moose Jaw, he's sort of just like the pretty boy. He doesn't say much throughout the movie.
Billy.
Yeah, but he's always like with a hot girl, or like looking at himself in the mirror or something. They're nice touches.
He's got those twins.
Yeah, he's always like, that's what I was saying. Yeah, those hot women. But yeah, it's good. And all the characters are pretty good. The soundtrack, the song that they keep playing over and over again, right back to where we started from. Love that song. Great song.
So good.
No problems with that. And it was a good song to pick for the reoccurring. And like, while they're on the bus, it works. And I like when they have the booster club, all the girls following them behind in the bus, come out behind them, and like they're mooning all those people who are against the Chiefs. Is funny. I like that part. I liked most of this movie. It's pretty good. So are we done, or do you got any more to add, sir?
I'm ready to rate it, my man.
Okay, let's go. Let's go, buddy. Yeah. Solid. You know, not perfect, but it's a classic. 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's a good movie. You know, 9.9 out of 10. It's a little closer to your heart, and that's fair. It's a good film, either way you look at it, though. And Stevie, I don't know if you're still here. Maybe you're eating or smoking. Well, I don't know what stage you're at right now, but that's okay. I'm just gonna quickly check if missed anything. We're good? Okay. But yeah, Monkey Bone is next, so we gotta talk about it. Whether Stevie's here or not, but Stevie is the reason we were able to watch Monkey Bone, so let's say that first of all. Thank you, Stevie.
Thank you, Stevie.
Because I don't even do a shout out because you know you don't stream, but it's just nice to do a shout out. It's pleasant. So we're gonna do that. Anyway, let's get to it. Tank, what up, Rice Baby? Next movie. Thank you, Stevie. Hell yeah. You meant thank. I did a thing. Yeah, you let us watch Monkey Bone. Thank you. You lent us your DVD of Monkey Bone. G-Bergs. I gave it to G-Bergs today to watch, and he watched it today, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yes. Slapshot's done. I rated it 8 out of 10. Bergs gave it 9.9 out of 10. It's a classic. Let's go. Motherfucking monkey bone. Yes, monkey bone. Thank you for allowing them to watch Monkey Bone. You want to borrow Monkey Bone from Stevie? Get on the list. I'm sure Stevie would be okay with it. We're all Saskatoon folk here, so. Stevie. Monkey Bone?
Yeah, monkey bone.
Monkey
Show
bone.
me the monkey.
Monkey get boned, as the tagline says on the DVD.
Right.
So such a funny tagline. It's so dumb, but it made me laugh, and I think that that may be part of why it failed, perhaps. But I like the tagline. Anyway, let's start off.
Such a good flick.
Get Stevie's picture, Doug.
Oh yeah, thank you for the reminder.
But this isn't Stevie. This is Stacy.
We know,
I'm sorry,
but we
Stacey.
want to. We use the photo because Dylan printed it. We have to keep using it because the
That's right.
production value.
We care about the environment.
Come on, stay.
I mean, both like the global environment and your environment that we're seeing. We care about the environment.
It's truth. This is truth. Printer ink is pricey. Yeah, I wouldn't ask Dylan to do this again unless he want. In fact, I didn't ask him to do this. He just did it. So I appreciate you, Chillin' Evans. I know you're not watching right now, but thank you, brother. Thank you. I wasn't sure if you were old enough yet. For Monkey Bone? What we talking about? Monkey Bone. So let's talk about the basic plot. Brendan Fraser is a cartoonist.
He's in a coma.
He's in a coma. Well, let's start before that. He's a cartoonist, and he made this cartoon that's about to launch called Monkey Bone, based on his comic strip, and it's like adult humor. They show you a little bit from the Monkey Bone show that's about to get launched on the Comedy Network. We're told in the movie, and it's dirty. In the cartoon, he's telling his psychiatrist about a traumatic experience as a child. He was in a classroom, and he gets an erection from looking at his teacher's arm flap. And I don't know. I think it's funny. It's super silly.
Like a jiggling butt or boob, it's a jiggly round thing. I don't see it as shameful.
Yeah, and then he's even like, I don't know why, but it did it for him, and that's all that you need to know. But then the funny part is obviously, instead of a boner, monkey bone comes out of his dick. And I laughed out loud pretty hard at this part, because the song that pops is like, monkey bone. Monkey bone. And I was like, yeah, I'm in the mood for this right now. Here we go. It got me right into it. Dylan does this favor for you for free, and maybe later you owe Dylan a print or a copy job, But yeah, one day when the power of the printer is on my side. For now it is on Dylan's side. I don't have a printer. When I need to print something, Dylan is very nice and lets me use his printer. I forge about it. Arm flaps get me going, right? Imagine getting spanked by that flat. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yes, he gets in a coma. Let's skip to that part. Because there's an inflatable raft or balloon or whatever. Because there's all this monkey bone merch he's given to look at, I guess. That's get put in his car by Dave Foley. And the big old inflatable boat or whatever blows up in the car and steps on the gas and makes him crash. But how is he fucked up and the woman is fine? That's one question. But I guess it's believable.
Because the plot.
Because the plot. Thank you. That's a good point. Monkey Bone gets Doug going. It really did. I love how this movie looks. But yeah, he gets into a coma. And
of the visual styles going on there, yeah.
And this is where it starts getting visually cool. Is this shot is so cool with him sinking into the bed, and you see the like divot going down, and you see it from his view going down into this world. Brendan Fraser is going into this mystical world called Downtown with all these
And it
crazy.
starts with a minecart roller coaster.
Right.
That's terrifying.
Right, that's a good point.
That might as well be death, right? That's the beginning of the coma.
And
He's no longer present.
And it looks so cool. Oh, all the
It
way,
does.
all the way through. Fuck. And this is what I remember. I'm surprised because I hadn't seen this since I was so young. I was surprised about how many of the visuals I was like, oh yeah, Brendan Fraser deflating. Oh yeah, I remember the way that CGI snake or no stop motion snake or whatever. I was just remembering all these visuals in my mind, and it was so cool. The nostalgia just coming at me. But I'm gonna plug in my phone real quick.
I remember mentioning to you earlier, Doug, that it's a very smooth, very seamless blending of practical and computer effects.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Monkey Bone was stop motion. He's stop motion. There's also CGI. There's also puppets. It's so cool all around. I'm just gonna plug in my phone.
It hits all my buttons.
Yeah, like I have very little to say negative, but a little bit to say negative about it. You know, so you could argue that the monkey is a little annoying, but it doesn't get on my nerves too much. What else? When Brendan Fraser, we gotta get forward with the plot a little bit before we get there. So he's in this downtown, and he obviously wants to get out, and up above.
And they greet him with a song.
Oh right, downtown, and I remember.
Welcome you to downtown, and while you're in your coma, it'll be your home sweet home.
Yeah, that's as good as we're gonna get for sure, because I can't do it better. I remember. Sorry, go ahead.
Nothing. Okay, fine. I just fucked off for a minute, and now I'm super baked. So.
That's okay.
I'm gonna bumble my words. I'm gonna blunder it up in here.
That's what it's we're allowed to do that, especially Stevie Blunder. You're allowed to blunder all you want. Monkey Bone.
That's right. You expect it.
At this point, I crave it.
All right.
No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. But Miss Kitty, though MMPH, Stevie Blunder it up. Hell yeah. Okay, but yeah, no, he wants to obviously get up there, and we find out the way to get back is to get an exit pass, this little golden like ticket, and you can only get one of those if Death or one of the Grim Reapers or whatever gives you the pass.
Who plays Death?
And we find out in a little bit that we will skip to that. We got Whoopi Goldberg as Death, which is funny.
Yes.
Undeniably, I enjoyed
Excellent delivery.
And I watched another review of this after just to sort of to see if I agreed with some other people's ideas and stuff. But there was one thing that someone said that struck home with me. They were saying that, because I can't think of another time. There's times where like death and hell has been perceived as like an office or whatever, but this is more like it's a trade, like, or something. Like, this is a place of work where all these Grim Reapers are coming in. But I don't know if this has been done that like that much, or since, like death being like a trade, like welding or whatever. That's what I think.
Okay, like there's multiple Reapers, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like they all stand in line, and they're like, here, or like a factory or whatever. It's more like that.
Well, remember that this is held by Stu's imagination, right?
Yes, and that is an extremely good point.
Or whatever afterlife he
Monkey
imagines with his nightmare problem.
Yeah, and this is such a cool idea too. That they're down, and that's where you go when you have a coma. You go to this world or whatever. And this one is because it's in Stu's mind, of course. So that makes enough sense. And that's a good point, because I didn't really think about it. Because there's things later on, like Stephen King being like, Cujo is in my body up there and I'm down here. But if it's all in Stu Miley's mind, if it's all in Stu Miley's mind, then is Cujo really in Stephen King's body, or is that just in his mind? So that's just made me think of it in a whole different way there. there's layers to this.
Yeah, yeah, I'm understanding he's not in the afterlife. He's in a coma,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's cool. It's like
and he has a
purgatory kind of.
nightmare problem.
Yes, and in this world they run on nightmares. That's the sort of the plot. There's this the like
That's how he met his girlfriend.
she's a sleep scientist or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's actually really relevant to the story.
No, yeah, I know. Um, but
Worth mentioning.
no, yeah, for sure. We're gonna jump around all all over, but yeah, no, she's a sleep scientist, and that's one point when he's in the coma. She wants to inject him with this nightmare juice or whatever to make the nightmares more scary, and the idea is
Yeah,
that
it's an
it would
enzyme or a pheromone or something.
yeah, and the idea is that it would wake him up. But the way he actually wakes up, Brendan Fraser wakes up, but it's not actually Stu Miley, which is Brendan Fraser's character. It's Monkey Bone. Monkey Bone stole the past that they got, and now Monkey Bone is inside of Brendan Fraser's body. And this is what I was trying to lay some of the negative things. His performance is maybe a little questionable as the monkey, but it's still kind of funny. The main thing that I have a problem with the performance is when he's just grabbing the cake and he's out of with his hand,
Yeah.
and she's just not doing anything about it, and it's like you would at least like say just stop doing, you're getting it all over the floor. The cake, but that's a very minor note, but and he still overall
I'm
is
not a
pretty
brain
good.
doctor, but I've heard that people are kind of weird after like strokes
No,
and
and that's
stuff, right?
total, and I took that into consideration for sure, but I still think she would be like trying to stop it from happening and try to help him and not get the cake on the floor. But
Yes, I agree with that part.
I totally thought I agree with that. So maybe it's not really his performance that I have a problem with. It was more her reaction to him with the cake. That was my main thing. But
Right. She needed more supervision
ooh.
for him.
And I'm seeing your comment here. Miss Kitty though, yeah, she's looking good in this. Imagine being, I already read that. Stevie Blunder it up. Amazing. Okay, but yes. So they're in this bar, and we have Miss Kitty, and there's a scene where Monkey Bone gets thrown into her boobs, and it's like, what? And that was one of the scenes I was like, okay.
I
But
left my number in your panties or
yeah,
undies, I think he says.
yeah,
I love that.
it is okay.
He's such a horn dog. Like, he is just pure sexual energy. There's nothing else.
It's true, and I didn't know that was John Turturro's voice sped up. That Monkey Bone. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
I was not aware. I thought it would have been like Luga Zamo.
Yeah, that would make more sense. Anybody cheaper would make sense because it would sound almost the same because they sped up John Turturro's voice. It's just more expensive basically to get him to be Monkey Bone. But I feel like G Bergs, you here? You want to say anything?
Yeah, I was a little confused why he was like less horny when he was Brendan Fraser. Like he was more concerned about money, it seemed like, and then getting bitches. But it was like,
Well,
okay,
I see what you're saying, but he does have he still wants the sex. That never goes away from the monkey because he has the dream where he's chasing the women, but then it gets interrupted by Satan or whatever.
But he's got hot ass Bridget Fonda right next to him. He's not really like trying to hump her all the time.
I think
I'm not sure what you mean.
this is my. They fuck though at one point. They have a sex scene. Oh wait, no, he just hurts himself.
Well, he does a mating dance for sure, but then
Yeah.
he bonks his head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there was something else. Some of the edits are a little questionable. They do like the thing where it swipes down, and those are a little jarring. But again, that was a little tiny note for me. But I like this movie. I quite liked it. It just
So
looks
damn good.
It looks so good that it's hard to be mad at it. Monkey
Yeah,
Bone.
yet everyone hates it apparently.
Yeah, this movie is extremely hated, so we're giving it kind of a golden review. But most people don't like this movie. It has a 4.8 on IMDb, which Pootie Tang has a 5.3, and people don't love that movie either, generally. And so you can see the big sort of difference too. But I don't know. I think this deserves at least a 5 on IMDb. Monkey Bone movie.
It's so good.
Yeah, it looks good, and I think like Brendan Fraser's so watchable. Like,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's
I had
the
no problem
usual
watching
complaint?
Some people say that they don't like Brendan Fraser's performance in this, but I don't agree with it. I think he does a pretty good job. And some people say Chris Kattan, because there's a point where Stu Miley from the downtown comes up and he's given a chance to go set things right, but he has to do it in Chris Kattan's body. And people say that Chris Kattan played a better Stu Miley in the one scene where he's talking to the love interest. People think that he's doing a better performance than Brendan Fraser is, and you can kind of see what they mean just a little bit, because he's putting it all out in that one scene.
I agree in a way.
He's trying, but I don't think Brendan Fraser's done shit. I think he's done a pretty good job.
Oh yeah, Fraser was spectacular, but that is the best Chris Kattan performance I've ever seen.
I think you're right, and the more I think about it, but another thing not great.
Yeah, him running.
Sorry, go ahead.
Running around with his head flopping around was hilarious.
Great physical comedy.
Yes.
Great physical, and Bob Odenkirk, holy fuck, he's in this as one of the surgeons running.
Give me those organs.
Running after, that's funny too. And
you know who else is in there is the guy that was Gus on Breaking Bad.
Oh,
he's the Dream King.
Oh, because he has all the makeup. Oh, right, that guy who looks like Satan.
Yeah, and the little like prosthetic suit so that he's smaller,
that's
right?
another character that looks so cool because his legs are. Oh, it looks so cool. But I didn't realize that was him. That was a good fact.
I think he's supposed to be a satyr.
What does that mean? Sorry.
You know, the old-timey Greek monsters, the goat men with feet to their feet.
Yes, I didn't realize that's what that was called, but yes, I'm familiar. I just think of that as like goat Satan, but that makes sense.
Like Danny DeVito and Hercules.
They're explicitly connected with sexuality, right? They're pure sexual energy, just like Monkey Bone.
Cool. I'm realizing this is based on a graphic novel, Wikipedia's telling me, called Dark Town. That makes me want to read that graphic novel. That's cool. I wonder how close it is, though. Probably not very. But you never know. Sometimes things are closer than you think. But, yeah, I'm trying to think about stuff I haven't mentioned yet. Anybody can go if they think of something. David Foley?
Well, Miss Kitty plays a pretty important role in this. Right?
Right.
She's introduced as the milkmaid, the cocktail waitress, right?
Yes.
And you're okay, yeah, just an average bimbo that like Monkey Bone dreamed up. But she ends up like helping Stu to get back to the one that he loves because like she loves him and needs him to continue living.
Real quick though, but you're right about that, but there was one thing about that scene that was a little weird. Because, yeah, Stu Miley's captured, and then Kitty saves him. But then the next scene, they don't even show it happening. He's immediately already captured by Whoopi Goldberg. And it's like, why even have that scene, or at least show us him getting captured again? So that was a little jarring. That's another tiny little thing. But, again, I still love this movie. But I thought that was worth mentioning.
Right, Death shows up right after Kitty kills the guard, right?
Right.
It's probably been a year for me, right?
Well, they just show Stu walking away because he's like, "I'll really never forget you," and then they cut away. Maybe they go to a scene back on the surface, and then they come back and
and what happened with the other characters in the pit? Are they all escaped too?
Yeah.
You know, it all comes down to it doesn't matter. He's in a coma.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point. And, like, there's just little things that I thought were worth mentioning, but again, they don't matter that much to me. I still love this movie.
I
Um,
understand your perspective as a storyteller yourself.
I am a critic now. I am Leonard Maltin. But anyway, not really. But this movie's great to me. It's not for everybody, I guess, according to the internet. But fuck that. I think you should watch it. Um, and the plot again. Let's go back to the plot. Cause there's a bit of plot. There's these monkey dolls, monkey bone dolls that have the nightmare juice in it, and there's a thumb in the monkey's butt. Like the monkey's thumb is in his own butt, and when you pull out the monkey's thumb, it shoots out this gas, this nightmare gas. At first, it's some other gas.
Hilarious.
It is funny, but if you look closely, both
Sorry,
times.
that sounded more sarcastic than I meant to. I'm just saying
No,
that joke is a little bit dated for me
no,
because
that's
I'm old.
no, that's
So
fair.
I take it back.
It's not super brilliant humor for sure, but it's harmless, I think. But
It was
the
very 90s Nickelodeon.
Totally. And the one thing I wanted to mention though about that is you see this, like, it stains their clothes. This gas. If you look closely, there's little bitty when it has the
Yeah,
yellow
it's a
gas.
shitty toy.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, why are they making this toy? Maybe that's part of the joke. Is like, why are they fucking releasing this piece of shit? Because just for the money, obviously.
Right when they
So
were reviewing products, they had the fast food combo, and then they're like, was this the place that found the rat gut? Oh, it was a
yeah,
pig gut. That's
yeah, it's
different.
basically pork. That's what Dave Foley says. Uh, Amazing. I guess I'm watching this ASAP. You should. And
Good.
the only way I know
You
how
want
to
to borrow
watch
the
it, the
DVD?
only way I know how to watch it is
And
if
you're the
you.
one responsible for bringing it back to me.
Yeah, G Bergs
Any
has
of
it
you
right
guys
now.
burn a copy for yourself while you had it?
That's a good idea. I didn't do it. I don't have a means to do that though, but I would. I did. Believe me, I thought about it. Um, but yeah, you should talk to G Berg's Race Baby, and he could probably get it to you, and then you get it to Stevie, and then the cycle is completed. But yeah, no, it's on.
Full,
Sorry, what?
full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's in good hands, by the way.
Not to
Even
be
Steven.
full circle, not to be confused with the show The Circle. Which I'll be reviewing that next week. I already fucking I cranked that out too fast. I'm too bad. I'm too good at watching bad TV. Because yeah,
Same.
it's absolute trash, but I couldn't stop watching. Anyway, Monkey Bone, Monkey Bone, Monkey Bone. It's fun to say.
I enjoyed the musical performance that Monkey Bone did
Oh, me too.
when he's in the body of Stu and he gets confronted by like the spirit of Stu. It's Catan.
Right. Yeah.
Brendan Fraser actually sings Brick House in this, doesn't he? It sounds like his voice.
Yeah, I think does he? Does he actually sing? Do you know Stevie?
I don't know for sure, but I am a lip sync enthusiast.
She's a
So I
no.
appreciate it for that.
Fair
It
enough.
sounded like he pre-recorded it, but it did sound like him.
Yeah, it did sound
Yes.
like him. I thought so too. And I like because there's a big pinata full of the monkey butt dolls at the end, and it gets smashed, and then everyone just starts like grabbing them right away. I thought that was funny. People just want those fucking monkey butt toys so bad.
Yes, and then Herb activates one, and his last line, the closer. One of you guys know it better than I do right now, but I love it.
What line? Sorry.
Take off your clothes, for the love of God. Take off your clothes.
Oh yeah, and then it switches back to the cartoon bit at the end with Dave Foley, because his face is purple.
Everyone's clothes are
yeah.
possessed.
His face is purple from the purple goo gas or whatever, the nightmare juice.
Got crazy nightmares.
Yes, and yeah, there's some some of the nightmare sequences are so cool. Let's talk about that real quick. There's the one where the dog is dreaming, and they have like the cats in big suits, and then there was the big scissors, and they're about to like cut off the dog's dick. It's so funny, and then
That was hilarious.
and then there's stuff that
His balls.
looks cool. Like we see this painting or whatever that Brendan Fraser was supposed to have done. Obviously didn't actually do it, but that's okay. It's a movie. He was supposed to paint it with his right hand, and then the reason Monkey Bone exists is because he drew with his left hand. But it's a super like disturbing sort of painting with this crazy like eye monster doing surgery on Stu, and he's like a carrot man or something. It's so gross, and then that and cool looking, and then we get to see that scene actually happen for a little bit when Stu gets sucked into a painting of that in the dream world. That was one of my favorite bits too. Super cool. But yeah, I'm running out of stuff again. What we got?
I could talk about it for another hour.
Fuck it.
I was building up to this, right? When
So-
the confrontation between Stu and Monkey Bone happens.
Yeah.
Sam says, "I'm crying, but all my tear ducts are dried up."
Oh, right, because he's dead. Yeah, there's good jokes with that. Okay, I remember something that I really wanted to mention. Another mildly negative thing. Almost every effect in this movie is awesome, but one of the few effects that sort of is shitty at the end, when they're on the balloons and they're floating, the blue screen isn't very good. That's just a thing of the times. This movie had a huge budget, $75 million budget, and it made like 7, so ouch, in the box office. But I loved it. Yeah, ouch. But yeah, Tom Selleck, who is not the Tom Selleck you're thinking of. It's a different one, I think. Tom's, I think that's his name. No, Henry Selleck.
Tom Selleck, who may or may not be Tom Selleck.
No, Henry Selleck. I'm sorry, Henry Selleck. That's why I got it mixed up. Same last name. He directed Nightmare Before Christmas. Everybody thinks that Tim Burton directed Nightmare Before Christmas, but no, the dude who fucking did Monkey Bone did. He doesn't get enough credit for Nightmare Before Christmas. So I wanted to say that too.
There you go.
Yeah, and like Cool World, there's like Beetlejuice he did too. I think he made that movie and a couple others that did really well, and then there was like a chain that did really shitty, like Cool World, and this did really shitty. But I really like Monkey Bone. I stand by it till the end. And again,
so good.
Same year as
You've shown so many people this DVD. It has seen some love, right?
It's so
and
good.
I'm so glad that you guys got something out of it too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And the same year as
Best
Pootie
purchase
Tang.
of my life.
No, I don't blame you
What?
at all. It was made the same year as Pootie Tang, 2001, as well as Freddy Got
that's
Fingered.
why it failed.
Maybe. Freddy Got
Couldn't
Fingered, though,
compete
too.
with Pootie Tang.
Or Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah.
Because it came
Probably
out
the one that I went to be
the
honest.
same year. I remember watching, I forget, it was a review of something, but he was like, this is the year 2001. We've had some real shitty movies. This one's pretty good. Some of the worst movies, like Monkey Bone. He like name dropped Monkey Bone as being one of the worst movies. I'm like, no, I'm not Monkey Bone. You know, I'm in the minority with that, but I will stand by Monkey Bone till the end of time. And yeah, it makes me want to sort of read the source material, Darktown, the graphic novel. I'm a little intrigued by that. But
I've heard that it's pretty different.
It'd probably be fun though. Usually they are. Like Mystery Men, the comic that it's based on, the main character is a carrot that is on fire. So that's extremely different from the movie Mystery Men. But yeah, that kind of shit happens all the time. G-Bergs, I feel like we haven't heard from you for a bit. We got any more G-Bergs, Monkey Bone talk?
I don't have too much else to say. It is interesting to hear that it was $75 million to make.
Yeah,
but
it was huge.
I mean, it looks really good, so that's understandable.
Yeah.
The budget was well used.
I think
and
so.
They had some big names in it, and Brendan Fraser was hot at that time. Like, he was
so hot
huge
right now.
That was peak Fraser, gotta agree.
Definitely.
That was right after The Mummy, bro.
Yeah, Mummy, and then he was
George of the Jungle, a special
George
mention.
of the Jungle is like one of my favorite movies of all time.
I grew up with it too. Oh fuck! Hi,
TP Rail.
Colonel, shouting you out right now, my friend. Hello, my friend.
Tell me.
We're talking about Monkey Bone.
I'll beat you.
Oh, that's okay. You did. As long as he gets it. Good evening, Canada.
I won.
What'd you say? I
I
won.
won.
I won?
The shout out.
Oh, you won the shout out. I'm sorry. Yeah. Hello, man. How you
Yeah,
doing?
it's okay.
I'm doing just dandy. Thank you, Colonel Pacifico. Thank you
We're
for.
reviewing Monkey Bone, which is the
Yeah.
best movie of whatever that year was, the same year as Pootie Tang. It's
2001.
better than Pootie Tang.
In your opinion, not my opinion, but that's you know, we're all biased. I can listen Stevie's voice. Yeah, you can. It's there. It's
Sorry
there.
about that.
No. We're doing great. We're like the classic panel at this point. Never heard of this film. You should watch it, Colonel.
Find it.
I love it. The way I watched it is borrowing the DVD from Stevie. I don't know if we're gonna mail it to Brazil, but that's up to Stevie. Probably not. We'll see.
It's probably cheaper to just buy it in Brazil.
Or rent it on YouTube or whatever. I'm sure you could. Hey, at Colonel Pacifico.
Than to do the mail.
Yeah, that's true. I think you can. Can you still get DVDs through Netflix?
I have no idea.
Because you could for like a while, and I wonder if they're still doing that. I guess why not if people still doing it? I'm sure there's still some old guys that are like renting Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo, or whatever. Anyway, that was the first movie I thought of for whatever reason. Not even the first one, European Gigolo. Okay, that means we're on because I'm running out of stuff to say about it. I see a rating 10.5 out of 10. Yes, this film came to Brazil. Monkey Bone? Or did I say we were talking about other movies? So maybe not Monkey Bone.
Deuce Bigelow went to Brazil.
Deuce Bigelow, that makes sense. The first one's good, I think.
I like the first one, yeah.
The second one's not good, I think. But it's not that bad. It was kind of, and you gotta love the sight
it's pretty
gag.
bad.
I mean, I haven't seen it for a while. I think it is probably pretty bad. But the sight gag I remember because it's the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but it's his dick. Oh yeah. Anyway, Monkey Bone, No Limite di Imaginico. Monkey Bone, I like that.
Imagine Kel.
we're both trying.
Accents for a reason. I don't know what sound they make, but you gotta try.
We're both trying our best. No, exactly. I never know, but you always try.
Imagine
I like that.
Imagination.
Yeah, whichever works. 6 out of 10. Oof. I'm definitely giving it.
No.
I'm giving it higher than that. Why, G Bergs? Why?
Yeah, I need to know what went wrong.
It was good. It wasn't great. I mean.
Oh, I disagree. But fair enough. I can see
disagree.
why.
Just for me, it's
That's allowed. I'm sorry. Continue.
The monkey maybe annoyed me a little more than he annoyed you, Doug. I know you mentioned that early on.
The monkey actually made me laugh. That's fair. I can see why that would make people annoyed. It's Citizen Kane. It's Citizen Bone. But yeah, you guys already did your rating, so I'll do mine. Oh fuck! You fuck it. Yeah, it's good. Fuck everybody. This isn't like the best rating ever again, but I think it's solid and fair. 8.5 out of 10. It almost looks like it's 85 out of 10. It's not. It's 8.5. But yeah, whoa. I think that's it. It means imagination. Monkey Bone means imagination? Fuck. That's cool.
No, the word that we're trying to pronounce.
Okay, because he said
because
he said Monkey Bone, no limit.
Imagine awesome.
To magical. Okay, no, I get it. I thought because he put it like that.
It's pronounced Imagine Awesome.
8.8 is what you said? That's what you gave it, Stevie? But question mark?
No, I couldn't read what was behind the dot.
Oh, it's 8.5, sorry. Yeah, that's fair. The marker's starting to not work as well. But that's okay, because we're done. 8.5 out of 10 Dougs. I think we're done for that, and then I'm going to dance. Thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for being here.
I'm closing my chat.
You're welcome. Okay, see you in the text chat. Good night. Bye-bye. Thank you. Okay. and that's the end of that chapter. Almost, Stevie. Almost with the 8.8. Yeah, it was close. Imagine awesome. Yeah, I liked me some Monkey Bone. It was fun. And I was watching Jamie Kennedy's YouTube channel, and he was talking about the Son of the Mask and how he all of his regrets and shit. But he was talking about how when he was making it, he wanted it to be like Monkey Bone. He was like, Monkey Bone is underrated. And I was thinking, like, we could do this. We could make this like Monkey Bone and it could be good. And I was like, yes. I can see how you could understand. Although I don't think Son of the Mask is as good as Monkey Bone. But you can see what the thought process was for him. Anyway, let's dance. And this is my warning. I'm going to be moving the camera right now to do the dance, but I'll leave it in that position. So that's one last move. I usually do more on Movie Review Mondays, but thanks for watching. We're gonna dance. Sorry to come late. Hey, that's okay. Thank you for being here at all, man. Thank you so much. Okay, here, I'm gonna move the camera. This is my warning, so look away if it makes you sick. All right. Ooh, yeah. Have a good night, Doug. Have a good night, Race, baby. I love you, my friend. Goodbye, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. I was waiting for your food. Fair enough. Well, thanks for being with me now. That's okay, you get to come on a raid now, that's true. But first dance. Dance is first. I appreciate you all though. Here we go. You were the closest one, Stevie? Stevie was, that makes sense. For the word pronunciation, right? Anyway. And dancing, yes, here we go. I've been talking about it too long, let's do it. That's it. All right.